Alright, so we're out here again doing pretty much the same type of thing that we've been doing. Although we're starting to lose frost in the ground and it's warming up quite a bit. Tomorrow they talked forecast about 78 degrees, which is amazing. So what I'm going to do here is I got everything cut up in this area here. Those are just some oddball pieces I'm going to move, but I'm bringing all the bark up here, and then I'm thinking I'll push it in probably right along where this stump is over in here. I'll make a pile and push that in. I got some pine logs that I'm not going to cut up because they're wet, so those we're going to end up pulling out with the tractor. Right now I think it's sitting at about a quarter tank of fuel, so I'm going to have to fill that up too here in a little bit. But let's get this stuff pushed up and then we'll go from there. I really wish the tractor had some sort of bucket indicator, because it is so hard to tell when that thing is flat with the ground. With a skid steer, it's so simple to know where your bucket is with your location, because I just keep catching the ground here, and it's either you're grazing the top or you're digging in. There's no middle ground with the thing. Alright, so we're going to pull that stump part there that's right by the loader bucket. We're going to pull that out of there, and then the plan is to hook on to, let's just pull the camera off here. We're going to hook up to the end of this pine log here. See, there was ants or bugs or something in it, that's why they dropped it. But you can tell this thing is extremely sappy. So I'm envisioning it's pretty, oh yeah, there's all sorts of ant activity on the bottom here yet. So the plan is to back up with the 3-point, hook it on with the chain, and hopefully get it to lift a little bit and then pull this thing out. I have no idea how long this is. I would guess probably 30 feet or so. I don't know, I got a tape and a smaller tape measure in the truck we could pull. But like all this stuff, I don't know what to do with this pine. I don't want to leave it lay here. So, I don't know, I might pull this log just down to the other end, and then over there where the tripod is, there's a pile of pine too. So, and then as I get closer to where the trailer is, we get more oak again, so I can cut that up for firewood or whatever. So, we made some progress from where I started on the other end there. And then coming back, and then there's a pine here. I found there was an oak further in that I must have dropped over the winter. I'm gonna have to get that pulled out too. So, alright, so let's get it, I'll get it set back up here again. We'll pull this piece here out. Alright, so the plan is to hopefully get it to lift and pull it out a little ways so I can rehook it. That's the only place I could get it hooked in there. And just kind of see what happens there. It's a wet pine. I would assume that wet oak would be much heavier than wet pine, but we'll see if the tractor can handle it or not. Yeah, we don't have enough lift capacity. Probably gonna have to cut that in half. I still have my doubts. We're gonna try it anyway. I can't get up much higher because I got some roots dug now, so yeah, I don't think it's gonna lift it still. I'm still hooked back too far. We'll try it. Alright, let's get this second one out. Alright, so I just got done taking a little break here for lunch, and I'm going to fill the tractor up with diesel fuel. A couple things I'm going to say is I may have been able to lift those logs had I taken the weights off the 3-point hitch there. That's why I'd like to get a set of wheel weights, that way it doesn't tie up the back. Otherwise, if you really want to load up the back and use the loader, it's a lot of like taking stuff on and off. I know that wheel weights aren't ideal either because they're always on, so if you want to lighten the tractor up, let's say, because you don't want to leave a big footprint or something, wheel weights on and off aren't very easy either. So really, I don't know, but for me, I think wheel weights would be a better option than always tying up the back weight bar. I didn't want to take them off because when I do come back and I want to push this stuff with the loader, I want the weight on the back to help ballast the tractor for pushing. So I don't know, it's a lot of back and forth. Other thing is, I don't know if I've mentioned this in other videos, the fuel that I use is off-road fuel, so it's dyed red, that's non-taxable. I don't even know what I paid the other day. I want to say it was like $2.70 a gallon or something. It's got to be pretty close to that. I think it was like 13 bucks for close to 5 gallons, so whatever that comes out to be. So that's what was in it, and that's what the dealer had in it too, so I run the off-road stuff. Yeah, I'll show you some video of me filling it up here. One thing I've heard is that the new John Deere 3025es and tractors this size, I believe they've moved the fuel tank from up here on the hood to somewhere back in the fender area here. So I guess that would be more convenient, but when I was at the dealer the other day picking up an oil filter, I did not see any tractors with a fuel tank on the side yet. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that's something, maybe they only had leftover models, they didn't have any new ones. So alright, I suppose let's see if we can do this without spilling too much. So I'm about down to 1/8 of a tank according to what it says, so we're going to try to do this with minimum spillage here, hopefully. Alright, so we got a little bit left in here, so I think it's a 6-gallon tank if I recall when I did all my information looking it up. I think it's like a 6.1, so I was just shy of 5, so there's probably, I would say, at least a gallon left in there. So alright. Alright, so these pieces that they had cut up here, I don't know if I'm going to drag those or what I should do with that. Yes, I do realize a grapple would make very short work of this. Here's the thing about a grapple. One, a Frontier, which is I guess made by John Deere, but yet John Deere won't put their name on it, so for what that's worth, just think about that. They'll say it's made by John Deere, but it says Frontier on it and it's painted green. They can't paint it yellow and put John Deere on it. Anyway, they do make a Frontier grapple. The thing is 400 pounds. On a good day, I believe my loader lifts around 1100. So that's a significant amount. Not to mention adding the third function to operate the grapple. And I just found there's a guy on YouTube that has like a grapple where 2 of the arms are stationary, and when you use the roll function of the bucket, you have to roll it all the way forward, and that's how it clamps it, so there's no third function. You're just using the 2 functions on the bucket or on the loader. That guy, I think he wanted like 1,800 or 2,000 for that, and I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. A set of pallet forks I could probably get for 400, and I could probably just as easily pick up these pieces that are in here. So a grapple would be awesome. It definitely would, but I don't know the cost of it, and it's such a specialized tool. I mean, if you're using it for logs, all it's going to do is grab logs. Yeah, you can grab rocks and brush and that type of thing, but in the grand scheme of things, you can't lift a pallet with it. You know, you can't put a platform on it and use it to elevate yourself like scaffolding. So I don't know. I mean, it's great if you got the money laying around and you want to spend it, but I don't know that I would spend the money on a grapple, at least not at this point. I'd like to get, like I said, wheel weights would be great, and then a set of pallet forks at some point. It's hard to see, but I got this pine log up. I got it with the loader. Kind of stabbed it with the corner and got it lifted, so I'm gonna get a block or something underneath there so I can finish my cut there and get this pulled out, but the loader will lift it. So, and you can tell the back end's not off the ground. It's not even light at this point, but this is obviously pine, not oak again. Alright, so I got this one haphazardly hooked up. Let's see if we can get this one out. Alright, so I had to rehook. So we're gonna go hook that way, and hopefully you can get that thing to swing around this tree here and go from there. Alright, here we go. Any bets on the hydro on that thing being a little warm today? We're giving her some pretty good use. Alright, so I'm just wrapping it up here. Gonna be taking off soon. I'm gonna see if I can get these logs stacked, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I got the four-wheeler loaded up. I was going to bring that back just to do the first oil change on it and stuff, and then as I was running it today, the little wrench indicator came on, so I have to get that looked over and see what the first, I don't know if it goes by time or miles, I forget. I would assume it's up on time, not on miles. And then just go through it. I noticed too the front tire looks like it's a little low. I'm sure over the winter the tires have lost some air, so anyway, I'm just wrapping it up here. I'm all done for today. Need to get back, so got my logs stacked there. Have to figure out something better with that. There's obviously a lot of stuff up that way. I just took a ride with the four-wheeler and I forgot there are a few down up on the corner yet that I got to get to. Those are pine again, so I don't know. But other than that, I mean, I don't know, I got to figure some stuff out. I did have a neighbor stop the last time I was out here and talk to me, and he has a wood splitter on the front of his skid steer. that he said he can just pick and split without getting out of the skid steer, because he's like, oh, you're gonna kill yourself trying to split those big pieces and load them. I'll quarter them for you. And he said he'd do that for nothing. I'm like, oh, whatever, if you want to do it, go right ahead. Because, like, you know, like that piece there and this piece, those are some decent sized pieces, although they got a good crack in it. I'm sure if I hit them with an axe a couple times it would split. And this stuff smells like oak. This is a decent pile of oak when you look at it. Like, this is a decent amount of stuff here. And then I did cut up some small stuff. I'm trying to clear the front trail. I thought I had it and then I forgot there's a pine that just went down up there, so I'll have to get to that too. This is the stuff that was zeroed. This is all dry. That would split real nice and probably burn already. It's been down a while, no bark on it. This stuff here, this I know last time I was cutting that had dirt on it. And then that stuff that's sitting there, that was sitting all winter like that. That was something I finished in fall. So I'll have to get that pile off the ground and figure out what I'm doing with, I don't know. I thought about rotating some of this stuff out, maybe taking everything that I got in here down by my dad, and he can split that and burn it, because that stuff's been sitting for at least a year now. And then that'll be a lot easier, and then I could just move my wet stuff over here, over to this area, and stack it up again. I don't know, it just seems like with firewood you're doing a lot of handling with it. Alright, that's it for now. We'll catch you later.